that is a great honor because basically your Parent Teacher Student Association, or PTSA, as we are familiar with it, your local branch has to nominate you, and then that goes before the state. And so to be the state principal of the year, great honor for me. The local city council created a proclamation for me, and I was in the newspaper for it, and that was just a wonderful year. But it was born out of the work that I did to help parents understand how to be engaged with their children. You know, so many times educators complain that parents don't want to be involved, and I have not found that to be true. It's not that parents don't want to be involved. Sometimes it's simply they don't know how to be involved.
Yes.
Right? And they just simply need guidance in what role they need to play. For example, you know, when I talk to parents, and especially high school parents, there is this perception that parents need to be really, really involved in elementary school. But I would tell you that while it's important for you to be involved in elementary school, elementary teachers are trained to nurture elementary children.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to allow your child to fall too far off the track, because it's in their nature to make sure that they guide your child and nurture your child and love your child during those primary years. Middle school educators also, they understand that middle schoolers kind of lose their mind. That's why many of them decide to do middle school. And so they're not going to let your child fall off the tracks too much, because they understand puberty's kicking in. And while it would be important for you to be involved, the educators in that level are going to make sure that your child is all right. The great paradox is how we decide all of a sudden as parents to leave our children in high school as if they've grown up, and at a time when we should actually be more involved now than at any time, we decide not to be engaged.
Yes.
So that's the first thing I tell parents. No, you are not getting in the way by being in your child's business, because what they do in these 4 years, from 9th grade to 12th grade, unlike any of the other years in their educational career, what they do from 9th to 12th can decide the rest of their life. Yeah. It doesn't have to decide the rest of their life, but it can. And that's why we got to be there, all in their business, all up in the school. We need to be present for those 4 years.
Yes.
So how do you do that? And so that's what I worked on, is making sure that our PTA set up weekly opportunities for parents to be involved based off of the student's grade level. And I'll just give you a brief example of senior year. We made sure that every month parents had a meeting that they could go to where they were given homework assignments, basically, the parents were, as the children began the application process for college. So we didn't wait until April and hit parents with the applications. We started in August.
Wow.
And so by getting the parents together and saying, okay, in August, this is the first thing that you need to be doing with your child. You know, in September, here's the next thing that you need to be doing. So by the time they got to April, financial aid forms were filled out, college acceptances were already in, and parents felt proud that they now understood the process.
Yes.
You know, and could take ownership of the process as they were involved in making sure their children went to college or career. You know, we made sure that we provided support for both avenues.
You're listening to The Specialist Show. I'm your host, Shelton Hunter. I have the privilege of interviewing and talking to my nephew, Dr. Clay Meredith Hunter. He is the assistant superintendent of the Georgia school system. I didn't talk about that yet, but we're going to talk about that. Dr. Hunter, tell us about your work.
Yes, sir. So I have had the great privilege of being a social studies teacher. I did that for 7 years. And then I became an assistant principal at the high school level and at the middle school level. That's 9 through 12, and then 6th through 8th grade. And after becoming an assistant principal at the middle school, I then became an elementary school principal, and that was kindergarten through 5th grade. Loved that. Did that for 3 years, and then basically I had a high school in my district that had changed dramatically. It had gone from being 70% white to 70% black in a matter of a decade. I mean, and all of those children were just like me. And they were from Chicago and from Newark and from all over New York and from all the different urban centers of the North. And their parents had found really great deals on houses in this small town in Georgia. And so they moved to Snellville, Georgia, and were able to get the house of their dreams for half the cost in New Jersey or in New York or in Illinois. But their children were not excited about moving to Snellville, Georgia. Great town, but it at the time was as slow as the name sounds. And just like my attempts to get back to New Jersey from St. Louis, Missouri with Uncle Charles,
right.
Just like my strategy was to act as bad as I possibly could, these children did the same thing. And so in the middle of the school year, I was sent there as the first African-American principal, first black principal of South Gwinnett High School. Right a stone's throw away from Stone Mountain. And people know Stone Mountain now as the black metropolis right outside of Atlanta, but people forget that at one time that was the Klan's base.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was their spot.
Yeah. Very, very, very nice people in Snellville, beautiful town, but it has a history, and so you had a faculty that was 90% white, with a student body that was 70% black. And that was a challenge in terms of working with both the faculty members to help them understand the needs of these children who were coming from the north back down south as part of that reverse migration, but also helping these children understand that you're in Rome now and you're going to have to change up what you're doing and how you do it. And so the thing that is important for people to understand, you talked about vision. And one of the things that I've come to understand in leadership is that you have to give people a big, audacious goal to reach, something that they can rally on. And so so what that meant for us, the way I was able to get that school back on track, we focused on a central theme: college, not if, but where.
Wow.
And yes, sir, that was the theme: college, not if, but where. And once